Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review. It's just me, y'all. Usually you see me and my homegirl Erin, but just know you're going to see us later on in the week. Come Saturday, you're going to do a double decker. We'll let you know about that. But for this week, it's just me. During the week, it's just me. I told y'all I was revamping this thing. I told y'all that things is changing around here. Well, tonight I will be discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, they are back, season 17. And this is episode uno. Child, it's something. You see that real nice picture of these heifers, these Atlanta heifers. You see them? Ain't that nothing? Let's go and get a little introduction, a little bit more to these ladies. Now, I went ahead and just plucked up a little, just a little 1-2, so we can meet the RAERAEs 17 cast. Y'all ready to do this? Yes. I think we are. Let's see what these heifers is all about now. Can you see it? I want to make sure you can see it. Yes, you can. All righty, so we're just going to take a little stroll. We know who this heifer is. We know who this heifer is, y'all. I'm just saying. This is Porsha Williams, the I guess she's the lead in since she's first on the list. She the most popular, not all for good reasons. If you watch the show, then she's had some good moments and some not so great moments on this show. I'm glad that she's no longer on pause, as she was put on pause after her 3-part commercial. Shout out to Linnethia Leakes for that cute little read. The 3-part commercial Linnethia Leakes referred to was her spinoff that was a disaster, child. To the point where they had to put her behind on pause. And then a little later, she needed to show herself to be worthy of remaining employed with this organization we know as Bravo and them. Bravo and them. And so she did a quick 1-2 with the Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip. She managed to keep her composure and her hands and feet to herself, which is great for her. I am so glad that worked out for her. Yes. Other than that, so she's, some controversy. Most recent controversy was the divorce from the man she got involved with while being married to Fallon Pina. Girl, have y'all seen Fallon Pina lately? Child, she still look good. She had a baby with her husband, the dude that she hooked up with towards the end of her marriage with Porsha's ex-husband. Clock that T. And I would love to see her back on the Housewives. I'm just saying. I mean, but I understand, they want to, do whatever they're doing. I did see sort of like a web series on her Instagram channel. I'm gonna check it out and see what it's like and report back, because her and her husband, Jalen, that's his name, they made a baby girl. She's so cute. And did they have another one? I gotta check and see. But she had 2 or 3 before him, and she's doing big things. I always see her, meaning Fallon, doing some type of sponsorship or modeling and carrying on. So I'm glad. I'm glad. Let's see what's going on, child. What else is going on? Yeah, so who else is on this show? Moving on from Porsha. She's in Simon's house. Well, I guess it's her house. Technically, it's still his house because she's supposed to officially have it if she wants it after 3 years from the separation or 3 years from the date of dissolution, the date of the divorce decree. I just know it's 3 years. So she got a couple more, but she said she want to keep it. Apparently she can afford it. Big ups to her. And we got Phaedra. She is back. She came back in the last episode or 2 of the season 16 from tucking her tail between her legs from Married to Medicine. Once that bombed and failed, blew up in her face, she couldn't face her castmates on Married to Medicine. They were too much for her. Too witty, they, called her out. Pretty much everybody has something to say. And she couldn't take it because she can fool a lot over here with these ladies, but she can't do this over there in Married to Medicine. The kitchen was too hot. She had to run. It is what it is. We never respect a quitter. However, a lot of people like her. She, I mean, I can do with her or without her. Don't make me no never mind. We gonna say what we gonna say, and we gonna think what we gonna think. So let's see how she fares over here. Drew Sidora, she's back. She's still married to Ralph. I am a girl's girl. I hope she gets everything she is supposed to. Actually, is it over? Now, by the time I could have swore I saw an article. Well, never mind. We're just gonna talk like they still married, even if they not. Yeah, so that's a cute dress. She got it going on. She can sing. Frank card never declines. She can act. I think she's acting a lot on this show. It's similar to how she was on The Game many, many moons ago. She played herself, an aspiring singer who's going through life. And that's what it seems like on this show. Caught her in some lies since she's been on the show. Quite a few. Even during the last season where we learned a whole lot about her and Ralph's marriage and divorce. He pretty much let things be out in the public to the point where we found out she, was, in some financial troubles and, job troubles. And so it's just a matter of having a lot more integrity about herself. I wish that she would. Of course, when you're going through a divorce, things can be stressful. You may do some things, you normally don't do. But they were playing games as we saw, as I saw. But again, I hope she gets everything she deserves out of this divorce. Big up to Drew. Yes, yes. Who now? One thing I thought was a little strange was that the dude that she was seeing last year, she called her friend, business associate, but now they're an item. Child, we're gonna get into that. It was real weird. Okay, Shamia Morton Mwangi, Portia's ex-best friend. That blew up in both of their faces last year. If y'all didn't watch, pretty much they started off as they have been during the course of the show. Shamia didn't want to be the hanger on anymore. We learned that she has a difficult time with getting her point across. We also learned that, she lied about some things. We learned that Shamia no longer wanted to cover up for Porsha's BS. I don't blame her, but there's a way to do it. She kind of she blindsided Porsha. At the same time, Porsha's usual and customary expectation of blind loyalty just wasn't good enough for Shamia anymore. I just wish Shamia could have expressed herself better with all of this. Porsha really tried to not let it show, but it was obvious, at least to me it was, that Shamia no longer wanted to be her minion, to where Shamia would allow Porsha to, lie, especially when it came to Shamia looking like the bad guy. And that one thing where, anyway, we'll get to that when we get to Miss Angela, child. But yeah, Shamia and Porsha are no longer BFFs. They had a drag out at the reunion. If you didn't watch, child, go watch, y'all. Go. You can watch my review, whichever one you want to do. Yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, she is more so finding her way. All right, girl. Here we go. Angela Oakley. So she's still trying to get Charles to not read her for filth on this TV, on this World Wide Web internet television streaming service thing that we watching. But he can't help it. That's just what he do. He's so used to just, and not embarrassing her, but he's smarter than her. It's just real obvious. It is what it is. And that's okay. If you're, it seems like they're in a traditional relationship, and those of us who appreciate a traditional relationship, those of us who are heterosexual, we tend to appreciate the traditional norm, right? And we like for the men to lead us. That's what we expect, especially with the protection, the financials, all of the things that we feel secured by, right? And it's all good. Of course, there's nothing, strange or volatile or anything about the relationship, but I can appreciate because I see similarities, not with the dragon that he does her. He loves just, but sometimes I think he can't help it because I don't want to say she's a little ditzy, but he's more serious than her, so it may come across as him maybe, being a smart ass or being smarter. I'm sure he's not smarter in everything and they equal each other. That's why he asked her to marry him. That's why she said yes. That's why they come together. Even that's why even why he took care of her family. Not all of them, but financially taking care of things. You can expect that from someone who is a multimillionaire and who is an icon in the NBA. Shout out to Charles Oakley. Although this is Lakers town, Lakers, Lakers, Lakers. Anyway, when she I love how she handled last year where things were coming her way, especially with that Brit girl trying to make Angela out to be, a liar or a fraud when it was actually the Brit girl who was the liar and the fraud. Hello, when it came down to real estate. Angela knows her real estate. Now, unfortunately, her properties ain't selling like she wants to, but that's the name of the game. Sometimes things don't work out in real estate. Sometimes they do. She's had successes, but for those properties that she's shown us last year, them things wasn't selling, child. But hopefully, things will work out with that. But yeah, back to Angela and Mr. Oakley. And then that big thing came where at the end, the reason why Angela and Phaedra don't see eye to eye is because some dude came on the show the last episode or two before the finale and made it seem like he was put up, excuse me, to portray someone who was either in cahoots with Phaedra or told to out Charles as a cheater and or on the down low, something, but definitely a cheater. And so, he did what he did. Y'all check out that review. Also, the show, I'm pretty sure they're still airing those episodes for your viewing pleasure. I know I'm airing mine. It's on my channel. Just take a whiff at anything y'all want to look at. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. But yeah, so Angela is a force to be reckoned with. She is no dummy. Even how she handled that thing with Porsha when she was upset with Angela at an outing they went to because Angela was one of those pressuring Porsha into discussing why did she take Fallon's husband. And so while they were being stupid in the pool, Porsha said, and Angela heard her because Angela's window was open. Angela's room was right above the pool. She was actually speaking with Charles when she overheard them talking. And she heard Porsha say, Angela needs to watch herself before I fuck her man. Child. All we knew was Angela rushed herself downstairs to that pool area and confronted Porsha on what she said. That's what you're supposed to do. That is what you are supposed to do when you hearing heifers talk about your man like that. I'm just saying. Big ups to Angela. See what you ain't gonna do, saying he's just so easily fuckable. Like, excuse you? And then Porsha went to running, pretty much denied what she said, even though Angela heard it verbatim. She's like, I heard you. The window was open. I heard what you said. Drunk or not, she meant it because she's done it before, at least twice. Just saying. Anywho, all we know was a couple of words were exchanged, and then we saw Porsha running. Girl, I'm like, Porsha running from an altercation? What's going on? I guess she knew Angela meant business. And then, also issues with Phaedra discussing how Angela was, old for her age. I'm like, older? Oh, why are we bringing up age? See, it's a lot we can say about Phaedra. It's a lot. All the stuff you've done to make yourself more marketable on TV and off of TV can be discussed as well. And we all know what that means. I'm just saying. Anywho, making yourself lighter and getting all this blonde hair. I mean, I know a look is a look, but girl, we see what you're doing. You were not pleased with your looks, so you had to change them. It ain't like you was not cute then. It's just now she looks, dare I say, no, I'm not gonna say that. She's changed. I mean, a lot of women have. As soon as we get a little, change in our pockets, something that we can afford to change, then we change it. It is what it is. But sometimes we do it for certain reasons talked about and not respected and so forth and so forth. So nevertheless, that's big up to Angela Oakley. Cute nose job, girl. Kelly Farrell. How many times is she gonna wear this? Is this the dupe from last year? Are they using stuff? I've seen this look on her before. I'm just saying. She's so short. Anyway, so I think, is she a friend of the show? I don't know. But anyway, Kelly Farrell, we got her doing new things this year. Same old beefs. Apparently, she took the side of Shamia at the end of last year. And so we're going to see some things going on between her and Porsha. I think her, meaning Kelly, and Drew as well. Of course, Shamia and Drew, Shamia and Porsha, but we'll see. They're, playing nice right now. Who else is on this show? Not much to say about Kelly, child. I mean, her personal life is what we've heard. However, that's not really on the show. So, what happened? What else, child? Who else? Oh yeah, what's her name? The new newbie. The two newbies. We got to go back to them. KMichelle, yes, ma'am. KMichelle is on the Real Housewives. Beautiful dress. KMichelle, I like her. We know her from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She's done a dating show and some marriage boot camps. So apparently the dude she was with before, she's known him since, I think she said, junior high school. So the dude she was with before, I think during marriage boot camp, she on and off. So she went on that dating show to make him think of what he's losing. And apparently it made him think. And right before the show aired, apparently, they got married. But they've been together for a while. I remember her when she had her own show. I forget what it was called. Anyway, I remember seeing him there. But like she said, he's been around since junior high school, in and out of her life, and good for them. I'm glad that they have a love success story. She has a kid that should be of age by now, maybe 18, 19 or something like that. And what else? Of course, she's a country singer. She's had success in the R&B world, gold, platinum, top 20 out, just successful. Don't have to give me a line about which top number she's been in, but she sold millions of records. Hello. And she even got a nod from Beyonce when Beyonce started her Cowboy Carter album. KMichelle was in the process of switching from R&B to country, as that has been her long life dream, is to sing country. We know a little bit about her from before, so we're going to get to know a lot more about her on this show. I can't wait. Even the trailer was good, y'all, because we know KMichelle don't take no mess. We've we've seen and heard about her beefs outside with other people, reading them for the filth. And so we just want to continue with that and love on KMichelle even more. Next, we got Pinky Cole of Slutty Vegan. Pinky Cole, that's all I know her from. She's had some bad press lately with her finances. However, things seem to be coming up for her, especially being on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. From what I hear, once you pass season 3, the coin is coining. So I think any amount will do for her at the moment, considering her financial woes. Yet and still, she has made strides in the vegan cuisine. And I haven't had any yet, but I like almost any type. I don't like Mediterranean. That's just one seasoning I just can't get with. I especially don't like olives and feta cheese. Ugh. But, just saying, I'm not a fan of Mediterranean. But I like vegan. I just haven't had her style of vegan yet. I've had plenty of other vegan restaurant options. I don't want to name a name because ain't no sponsor going on. But what I will say is, try it, y'all. It's not bad, especially when the vegan food tastes like regular meat that you would eat. And I sometimes make spaghetti with vegan meat. Yes. Once you season it, it's the same, tastes the same, child. The consistency of what you're eating is all, mashed up and whatnot into the meat consistency. So it's all good. Anyway, well, that's enough of these heifers. I mean, that's all we got. I know, what's her name? Cynthia Bailey is a friend of the show. So I guess she's losing some weight. I recently saw her on Instagram where she looked like a size 6 child. Now, she's gained some over the years. Even in this picture, she looks a lot slimmer than she did, I would say, 8 months ago. I'm not sure when this picture was taken, but I'm sure it was after 8 months ago. Just saying. But if y'all go on Instagram, child, and look her up, she look like she is small. Like she's modeling again. She's almost in her, well, now she's not in Noelle's clothes yet. But child, she's small. She's slim, because she's shapely, right? But I'm sure that booty ain't went nowhere. But anyway, big ups to Cynthia. Let's hope these wig choices is better, because child, it was wiggy. I can't see too close, but child, just saying. We gonna hope for the best when it comes to these wigs, child. What's her name? What's the lady name that Cynthia's wearing? We're gonna hope that is a better option. And she's seeing a young man. He is much younger than her, with locks, and I can't tell what his accent is. She doesn't mind a long distance relationship. That's something I can't get with. I can't be with you and you somewhere else. I just don't see the benefit. Me, it ain't about love language. It's just what I prefer. I mean, if I can't see you every day, or have the option to see you it can happen, but if we don't, the very next day type of, I don't know, child. I ain't the one to be doing long distance. So That's that on that. But anyway, so I thought I'd do something a little different, y'all, with the review, right? I thought I'd watch it a little bit and discuss the things with y'all. At the same time, I was hoping to give you a little something that I saw was this on the Bravo Shade Room regarding the show. There's some themes and things I just wanted to show y'all. That was interesting. When we get there, I will. So in the beginning of the episode, we see a little bit of what's her name? Phaedra. She's talking to her son. And he's the eldest. I forget his name, but talking about the what do you call it? A dance going on at the school. So he's just telling her, oh, maybe you can get with somebody named, maybe Drake. Rich. She said, well, I'm rich too. Drake don't want her. Boy, please. Also, we see Kelly's daughter, eldest daughter, going to college for the first time. She's going to Spelman, I think. Yeah, so good big ups to her. And then we see Angela and her husband. And she's, out there. She's cooking on the grill outside, some burgers and dogs and carrying on. And they start talking about things that has, excuse me, gone on with the group. So she pretty much mentioned how she's no longer going to discuss rumors about her husband. Something tells me that he already told her, I'm not talking about no rumors. I'm not doing it. So I suggest you talk about something else, because he seems like that type of dude. I remember saying this last year, or maybe the year before, definitely last year when I reviewed this show, when I rolled up on Mr. Oakley. Now, I knew about him already, of course. I'm an avid NBA fan since probably birth. Go Lakers. Now, he was on the New York Knicks team. Hey, everybody like what they like. I'm pretty sure he wanted to be a Laker because most men who play for the NBA do. Anywho, so she discussed how she's not gonna bring up, talk about any rumors about her husband. Something tells me that he told her that, he ain't, we ain't talking about no mess. So I suggest you talk about something else. And big ups for her and big ups for him, because it's time to stop addressing the petty mess. Just saying. It ain't cute. So move on. Then we see Porsha and visit KMichelle down to her workplace. She's doing some photo shoots and carrying on. She's doing a lot more, like I said, a lot more, what's her name? Country music. What's cute is KMichelle's nickname was Puddin'. You know how we get our nicknames when we little. Mine is Ray, as you see. It's just really cute, Puddin'. Her real name is Kimberly. Hello. So she's talking to Porsha, and based on her previous history of working on reality, and like I said, we know KMichelle from Love and Hip Hop. And she went through some things with those ladies that wasn't so nice. When she mentioned that her ex was physically, they didn't believe her because her ex was boyfriend and girlfriend with their friend, who happens to be Lil Wayne's ex-wife. Okay. And they figured, well, he for one thing, I'm gonna say they figured he wasn't like that. It's just dumb to figure. Usually women don't go around saying things like that if it ain't true. Specifically, if it wasn't true, I'm pretty sure he would have put her on papers. You know what I'm saying? And when she had proof that he did, stone cold proof, they still did not acknowledge that they were wrong. And it's really, a shame. Some, I think maybe one or two did that weren't on the show. They got friends as, around town, and they all kind of jumped on the bandwagon to say, no, not him, not him. Yeah, him, because when we saw him and Lil Wayne's ex-wife, who was his ex-wife, hello, she the girl that they were so-called friends with and protecting, when we saw them on Marriage Boot Camp, he was a hairline fracture away from fracturing her, the way he was yelling at her and in her face. That right there is not how you argue with your loved one. It's one thing to argue, but when you are nose to nose and you're towering over that person, yelling and screaming in a stance that is known to choke somebody up, yoke somebody up, nah, dog. I'm pretty sure, well, I shouldn't say I'm pretty sure. Something tells me that he was talked to by her ex, by Lil Wayne. I'm just saying, because Lil Wayne's daughter was in the household. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Something just tell me that he was talked to. I ain't saying put hands on, but he was sternly talked to about how he handles himself. Needless to say, she has moved on to a bigger and better things, and she had another baby with somebody. So, but we know little KMichelle's ex, whom she said, did those things. We haven't heard from him in a while. Good. We don't need to hear from him. He needs to go somewhere, be somewhere in his thoughts and repent. Anyway, so they're talking, and she, meaning KMichelle's, telling Porsha, who's visiting her down to the photo shoot, that, she just wants to change. She wants to prove all them MFs wrong who just had her name in their mouth in not a good way. I don't blame you. But, the best revenge is coming up. Excuse me. I'm living proof of that. I mean, those of us who have haters is doing a good thing, according to Cat Williams. And according to Cat Williams, hello, I think we trust what Cat say, considering his explosive debut on Club Shay Shay. I mean, what is that, 100 million views by now? I mean, that set off 2025 like nobody's business, didn't it? Or was it 2024? One of them years, I think it was, whatever year it was, that premiered, I think, in January. Look it up, y'all. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen it at least once. And it ain't just 20 minutes. I mean, it's a long, and then it's chopped up. So anyway, yeah. Big ups to Cat Williams. He said, if you ain't got haters upon haters, you ain't doing nothing right. So keep doing what you're doing, boo-boo. As long as they hate, that means you're doing something you supposed to be doing. Okay, not supposed to, but supposed to be doing. Hello. So we're gonna move on. So now Porsha's discussing her issue. Check. How about she gonna have a party, y'all? Excuse me, with couples. Now, let me take a sip of my vino. Hold on. Just a second. One more sip. Hold on. Okay. Oh, that's some good stuff. All right. So Porsha's having a party. she said, she hopes to have something going on in her life. She got a little something. She got a little yeah going on right now. And she's having a party at her Heezy where the wives, her castmates and friends can bring, it'll be a couple situation, right? Now, my take on this is, with all of the backlash Porsha has gotten the last 3 years, going on 4 years, about taking up Fallon's husband, dealing with him when he was with her, sleeping with married men, just violating girl code, just acting so unruly, just acting real trifling like, right? I guess maybe she wants to prove that they can bring their husbands around her. Also, considering that she said that she would, fuck Charles Oakley out of spite, just to make Angela Oakley mad. So, she said it. I believe she said it. She didn't say she didn't say it. Hello. Kelly, and then we're laughing down there with her, trying to fit in, girl, bye with all that, and y'all married women and y'all, thinking that's cute. Anyway, there's one point Porsha made that I appreciate. However, how it was said was still off, in my opinion. Telling KMichelle to elevate, move forward, and leave all that and behind you. To me, that's maybe that's Porsha's way of saying escape from it more so than elevate from it, But nevertheless, that's how you move on. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When those who don't see it for you don't do things for you or can't get in the way of your elevation and motivation, just, don't worry about it. Try not to let it move you or worry you. So next we see Kelly visiting Shamia. Why is Shamia calling this girl her BFF? I understand y'all get along real well, but Kelly is doing any and everything to stay on this show because she needed. No shade. The girl got issues outside of this show, y'all. I'm just saying, both of these people are on their second season on this show. However, of course, Shamia has gotten paid from this show before, from being on the show here and there and here. But now that she's a full-fledged cast member, both of them, they are doing what they got to do to stay on the show, which is understandable. Shamia is trying to get a little more independence, as we see in the trailer. She's telling her husband, Gerald, that, she wants to own some things on her own, be a little more independent with a business venture. We'll see how that plan pans out. But right now he had invested 7 figures, I believe that's what she said, into her wine business in Grenada. Anyway, so the fact that Kelly's daughter is going to Spelman, Shamia packed her a cute little, college basket. My problem with this basket, and it's just so trifling of Shamia to do. I mean, she packs alcohol in the basket. The girl just turned 18. She calls it a college basket for a grown-ass woman. The girl just turned 18 two minutes ago. She's not grown. She's legally sound to be responsible for herself. That's it. The legal drinking age is 21, but according to Shamia, she don't drink anyway, so you might as well give it to her now. What? That's not a Gerald. If you listen, watch it, listen. Anybody know Gerald? Watch her, because this don't sound like a responsible mother. There's no way. I would respect, okay, condone, think highly of a woman who is and have children, trying to have more children, married, excuse me, and married, that would do this to my kid. No. If I was Kelly, I'd be a lot more stern as to what she can and cannot do with my children. I don't care what you do over there, but over here with mine, we don't do that. I appreciate the offer and the gesture of you wanting to care for my daughter, give her a welcome to college package basket, but take the condoms out, take the alcohol out, take, Lord Jesus, a pregnancy test. Have mercy. A pregnancy test? How about you just put the girl on PrEP? Just saying. Just put the girl on PrEP and move on. How come that's not being discussed? If you're going to talk about protection, now that's a protector. Now, I'm not going to protect from pregnancy, but at least her life won't be threatened, for the most part, because, AIDS still exists, y'all. I'm just saying. AIDS still exists. Hey, y'all, hold on, right back. So, as we're coming back around, some more discussion is happening. Tamia's talking about communications with Porsha. They're talking about the invite that they all got for a couples party. And it was just weird the way that Shamia said their last interaction was. It was a text message, y'all. The text message, she didn't say verbatim what it was. She didn't provide actual receipts of the text message thread between her and Porsha, but she acted it out to where, it was a lot of, elbows and middle fingers and looks like, girl, what's up? What you want to do? It was an animation of what the text thread said. So we can only imagine, of course, My thing is, y'all can't FaceTime? Y'all want to, put this on text thread so that it can be used against the other later? Is that what we're doing? Okay. That's cute. Anyway, so they're further discussing the party, Shamia and what's her name? Kelly. And now they're making jokes about who is Porsha bringing to this man's house. They keep saying this man's house, child. I'm like, oh my God. Because actually it is his house. It's not hers until she, Okay, now I remember. So the divorce is final. And she got 3 years from the date of the, of the divorce being final to make a decision whether or not she wants the house. And if so, then they go through the motions of her getting the house. And so, but he's supposed to be paying the bills in the house, and he ain't been doing it. Because he's been trying to appeal and he don't agree, talking about she tricked him and the prenup based off of, now this part, y'all, hey, this part is something interesting. Interesting. So what I remember was this little tea. Porsha and Simon was fighting over the fact, now he was really more so fighting with her over the fact that he didn't believe that she was truthful when they signed the prenup. She made it seem like to him that she was done with reality TV. According to her, she didn't make him think that. But we knew that she was on pause after her 3-part commercial. Shout out to Linnethia Leakes. So, she was being let go from jobs, i.e., quitting jobs. And so, according to him, she wasn't hireable for reality TV. Perhaps she didn't tell him that it was on a contingent basis. It was just something that was, not permanent. So she led him to think that she was not hireable. Maybe that's what the real deal was, because we know Porsha is not truthful. It is what it is. The girl ain't right. But anyway, so that's what I think is what happened behind the scenes, which is why he thought what he thought. Nevertheless, the judge said he got to pay, so he should be paying. Again, I'm a girl's girl. I think Porsha should get all the things that's owed to her. Whatever that is, legally, illegally, illegal, whatever it is, right? But since the judge said pay the bills, he should be paying the bills. That's it. That's all. Fight it later. Keep a receipt, because if it finds to be that you're owed some type of remedy or some type of restitution of sorts, or if he can be made whole from something found, fine, do that. But pay the bills, dude. I know you mad and carrying on. Just pay the bills. Anyway, so what's I about to say? Yeah, so they're getting on this notification about the party and everything. And so from all of that, we're just gonna move on. This Black character that Drew is carrying on with is just a trip. I mean, I'm just saying. So now we're coming up on the party. Big ups to the party. Down to the house. She wants to show off the house and everything. She's just doing what she wants to do, meaning Porsha, that is. So it's party time. Everybody's showing up. Cynthia has her man on the phone, and the phone is decorated in lock hair to signify that's her man. Like, why is we bringing the man on FaceTime, Lord? Anyway, so I think his name is LaPrince. That's his name. So then we see Angela and Charles come in. It's a Black affair. Everybody's supposed to dress in black, but he got on blue. Sky blue. Hello. And white tennis shoes. So then Drew come in with her man on the phone. Mind you, the man, she said last year, was a business partner, friend, because he had a wife or a girlfriend. Now she's dating him this year. Girl, a lie don't care who tell it. Let me get a sip of this something. Ooh, that was good. Anywho, so they all getting introduced and laughing at why y'all bringing these men to this house on the phone. What is going on, Lord? Girl, I don't know why people would do something stupid like that. Anything for some attention. They on a reality show. They trying to, make it do what it do. I'm like, what? Okay, so let's look at this outfit Porsha got on, child. I just want to show you what I see. In case you ain't seen it, child. I just want to show you what I'm looking at. Now, you see this outfit she got on, child? You see everybody got on. There's my girl Kay, people coming in. You see this thing she got on, y'all? Child. What is going on in this dress? Here's a little something else from the party. Look how pretty Angela look. Look at Charles in the blue. Told you he had on blue, sky blue, child. What is going on? Oh, look how pretty she is. She got on, ooh, them eyelashes. They go Pinky. Pinky came in drunk, spilling some wine all on the floor and carrying on. Now him. Ain't that the dude from Country Wayne web series? Girl. All right. Look at all that's going on. Oh shoot. Shout out to the Bravo Shade Room. Thank you, thank you. Ain't this nothing? Doing all kind of stuff. What else happened? Let's look at some more shots from the party. Look at this. Oh yeah, that's me talking later. Ciao. They just doing two. Look at him, it's blue. Ooh, Drew, I want to see this dress Porsha got on. All these virtual dates and carrying on. Virtual date. Lord have mercy. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh, it got deep over here. We're going to get inside in a minute. Child. Remember that, y'all, when Shamia did that fake apology? It was just off the way she did that apology last year. Remember that, y'all? Child, please. Anyway, oh, she was like, no, we ain't gonna do that. Okay, as you can see right here, you see that dress Porsha got? It wasn't flattering, I can tell you that right now. She has a sway back, and it looked a little ill-fitting. It's I don't think it's properly made for her body type, because she has a sway back. So when you have a sway back, that means it's more so, your front protrudes out, and we know she's flat. It's just, it doesn't look that way, and it just looks like it's not flattering. It's not like Angela Oakley up here. You know what I'm saying? So it's, again, if she wasn't such a sway back type of shape, it would have looked better, I believe. But big ups to her. Big ups. So yeah, so they get into it at the party, y'all. They get into it at the party. So, they're just getting to know each other. Pinky rolls in with Shamia. Shamia kind of fakes this storyline that, what's his name? Her husband was going to come with her, but he got stuck in the airport. But if you look at the show, when she told him about the party initially, he said he was stumbling over his words. Oh, well, I don't know. I'll have to let you know. What's all the hubbub, bud? Just, give more of a definite answer as far as your plans. Is he trying to hide his plans from the show? I'm just saying, oh, I'm not sure, man. It just seemed like it was like him and Han when he told her. So when it was time for the party, Pinky and her man come over to her house. Everybody dressed, she ends up having to speak with her husband. He tells her that he's in Charlotte waiting on a connection. And she was like, oh, it just seems so fake. Not that I don't like Shamir or anything, but that whole situation that whole conversation just seemed fake AF. Contrived. Like, girl, are you serious? Mind you, the party's going on. Everybody at the dinner table, people commenting on why she ain't here. So she calls him to find out what's going on. You mean tell me y'all ready to go And you ain't heard from him yet? Talking about, oh, you stuck in Charlotte? Talking about she laid his outfit out and everything. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean tell me at this point when it's time to go, actually after it's time to go, excuse me, you then find out that his connection is not connecting and he's in Charlotte, North Carolina? Child. Are you kidding me? Child, I don't care who tell it. So we back to the party because they're going back and forth, back and forth. We tired of seeing about him where he at in Charlotte. So we're back to the party, and now they're grilling Porsha and her dude Mike, the dude from the Country Wayne Webb series. I think he's been in some other movies and different networks. She met him somewhere after 2020. I could have sworn she was with Simon. Anyway, so they finally make it to the party at this time, meaning Pinky, her man, and Shamia. At this time, we're finding out that the last time her and Mike was together was about 9 months prior. Wasn't she at the law office talking about divorce 9 months prior? Help me. I mean, I ain't trying to count because it ain't that deep. I just know that the divorce just became final during at this taping, because it became final at the end of taping last year. So it is what it is, child. Anyway, woo-wee. So here we go. More mess at this party. What's her name? We find out that Pinky Cole and KMichelle are Delta Sigma Theta soror sisters. All right. Shout out to the Deltas. I have a special affinity for Delta Sigma Theta. I'm about to pay them a visit. Anyway, again, we find out a little more, and Porsha wants to do a game. What? Kids always want to play games. I'm just saying. So Porsha wants to play a game. She wants to find out all these sexual history between these couples. Again, wrong road. Wrong road, Porsha. Why do you insist on wanting to know about these women's husbands in the bedroom? Wrong road. What? This just don't bode well. I was waiting for somebody to say, first you want to meet our men, be around our men. Now you want to know what our men do in the bedroom? No, heifer. You plotting, scheming and plotting. I would have stood up and said something. I would have. Baby, it's time to go. Don't even look over there. This heifer trying to see what you working with. Child, I would have thunk it, because like she said, she'll get mad at you. She want to fucking man. But child, I'm so sick of Porsha. I don't think I understand. So then we got a little beef going on between Shamia and Drew. Drew questions that Shamia's man ain't here, where he at. First of all, why the hell are you asking? Again, why don't these women say what they need to say? Excuse me, Roa normally does, right? But for some strange reason, Shamia is not speaking up for herself. But then again, last year she says she's learning how to. But if I'm beefing with you, homie, If me and Sarah is beefing, currently beefing, Sarah shouldn't even worry about where my man at. Sarah need to worry about her man on the FaceTime. That's the man Sarah need to worry about. See, I'm gonna tell Sarah where to go and how to get there on the broomstick with her man. So they have a little something. So it makes the guys want to get up and leave. Here we go. Here we go. Now here the girl's going. Oh, Lord have mercy. I just don't understand these grown A women, how they can't really express themselves when they're in this group. It's not like Shamir don't know these people. Atlanta is small, especially when it comes to celebrities, excuse me, people in the spotlight, local heroes and all that. Everybody has a shine. That's like Black Hollywood. So, everybody want to be famous. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people want to be famous. A lot of people want the spotlight. It's not like they don't know of each other or each other. So it's just weird that they don't know how to, especially because the reunion happened. We're not in a good space, therefore don't discuss my husband. I'm not going to say it again. That's that. So that should have ended that, but she didn't say that. Anyway. So Cynthia tried to be the peacemaker like she did before. Cynthia, shut up. Let me see this wig. She messed up wig again. Woo, Cynthia, these wigs, child. I'm going to need you to get with a wigologist, somebody who know how to do hair, and get your wigs. You are wearing hair hats, not wigs. I am sick of Cynthia and these hair hats. I really am. Anybody out there feel me on this? Golly. So here we are. Kelly is trying to mend fences with Porsha and Shamia. Porsha doesn't want Kelly to interfere. Porsha and Shamia, mainly Porsha, wants to keep their texts, their issues outside of the group, but that's not what we do, Heifer. We discuss things. You want to tell us what you want to tell us. Well, no, bitch. No, I'm just playing. No, Heifer, we need to see and know what's going on for ourselves. We don't trust you, remember? You fuck women's husbands. You connive, you manipulate, you can't be trusted. So we need to see the receipts. That's just how it is, Porsha. You have a long way to go to be trusted. Hello. Anyway, so then Shamir tried to change the subject. Phaedra speaks of how, Shamir brought it to the group's attention that that Drew came into Phaedra's dressing room trying to get to know her better, but then Phaedra's like, I don't really get to know people who try to frame me, so Drew said, well, I didn't agree with all that. So Phaedra's like, well, if you didn't agree, why should you go along with it? Like, hello, what's going on? So it's weird. Another thing is how Phaedra tried to have somebody come over to Angela at a Hawks game and threaten Angela, like Angela mentioned last year. That's another point of contention between Phaedra and Angela. If you don't remember, let me remind you. I'm the one with hands is what was expressed from whomever Phaedra came with to the game. They walked over to Angela and said just that. So Angela took that as a threat. I would too, because we all know when we say I've got hands, we all know people have hands unless they are handy capable. But when somebody comes over and tells you I got hands, or in the conversation, I got hands, That means I know how to fight, for those of you who don't know. And a refresher for those who may have forgotten. And what's her name? Phaedra adamantly denies that she did not send her over there. She didn't know anything about it. It wasn't even like that. So then Phaedra had the audacity, child. Now this is another lie Phaedra was caught in. So Phaedra had the audacity to say she said she's willing to show Angela the tapes, the security tapes at the Hawks game. Phaedra said that she had the tapes pulled and it does not show that they said that to you. She said she didn't look at the tapes, but she asked for the tapes to be reviewed. But in the midst of the argument, she verbatim said, I can show the tapes, baby. And it did not happen the way you said it happened. Now, what's interesting, if she didn't see the tapes and she really don't know what's on the tapes, she's bold-faced lying right there in that group, as Phaedra often does. Hence why she was a coward to face them, the ladies of Married to Medicine, because they pulled her card. They knew Phaedra wasn't worth the pot nor the window. So to save face, Phaedra came over where she knows she can lie and get away with it. So then this makes KMichelle want to get up. I'm cool. Let me go where the fellas at. Let me go to my man. I'm ready to go. And she walking away. She wasn't even dressed in all black. She said she didn't know, even though the invitation said all black. But anywho, they're just, having a moment. KMichelle leaves the group. Angela goes to get KMichelle. KMichelle was like, I don't want to go back in there. I'm cool where the guys is at. But at the same time, Kelly is further trying to mend fences, but Porsha's taking it as being antagonized, and she don't want to have nothing to do with Kelly. Porsha had the audacity to say, Porsha, Shami and I is none of nobody's business. Yes, it is. You're on this show, heifer. So it is what it is. So apparently that angered Porsha enough to kind of low-key threaten Kelly, let her know, if it was, like, I'm drinking, I don't want to be responsible for nothing. So how about we just stop talking about this? Ain't that nothing? Ain't that why she was put on pause? Is it or isn't it? Is it? Is that why she's put on pause, y'all? I think so. Anyway, listen. All I know is this was a good episode. This is a great episode. I can't wait for episode 2. We're going to get some things straight. We're going to find out what's really going on. And Durham, we're going to know exactly what's going on between Porsha and this dude, Mike. However, I think Porsha introduced this man. They probably are kind of messing around, but the fact that he is or works for Country Wayne leads me to believe that she's trying to get to Country Wayne. Country Wayne is easy to get. He's easily fuckable. And perhaps she's, making her way over there. He's the boss. And, he got a few, he got some nice pocket change now. He proudly takes care of his children. Not that she wants him to be, part of, the rearing of her child. But I do think Porsha has ulterior motives. And even, again, she ain't opposed to sleeping her way around through whomever to get where she wants to be. That's been proven, which is why she's in this house. It is what it is. And that's okay for me to say. I'm just saying. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna find out what's going on episode 2 next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Again, I kind of like this where I watch the episode kind of with you and give you my take on things, discuss things that, you know, kind of lead into what's happening now. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes with other shows as well. We'll just see how it goes, and we're gonna take it from there. So again, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And when you subscribe, you will know about up and coming shows. And speaking of up and coming shows, hello, tomorrow we got Real Housewives of Rhode Island, episode 1 and 2. I'm going to do both episodes because they started off on Thursday, but then they came on Sunday for episode 2. That's why I think we'll just go ahead and let y'all know about episodes 1 and 2 tomorrow. These ladies are pretty interesting. We got some lookalikes. Hello. We're going to discuss that tomorrow. And speaking of up and coming shows, Saturday, me and my homegirl Erin, we're going to let you know about the What's Going Down episode of These Rich Heifers of Beverly Hills, Saturday at 12 noon. Be sure to be here or be square. And later on that night, excuse me, we're going to look at the, what do they call it? Lip Sync Perusa, something like that. Anyway, we're on the tail end of RuPaul's Drag Race. And if you know, you know. The Lip Sync Perusa is where all of the queens that have sashayed away come to lip sync for $50,000. Child, if that ain't a good win, that's like coming in third, because it's the winner, which gets $200K plus all kind of accolades and whatnot. Shout out to Linnethia Leakes for the word accolades. And the one, we always know the runner-up, you know, the second person who didn't win, right, gets a monetary gift. I think it's been, what, 25K? Something like that. It was less than a lip sync winner. Just, I know that's happened. But anyway, we're going to find out what the runner-up gets. But for sure, it's been announced that the lip sync assassin of season 18 is going to win $50,000. Child, I'll be doing all kind of steps, moves, and excuse me, learning every lyric there is to learn. And child, it'll be on and popping. Hold on real quick. Hold on. But yeah, we're going to find out what's going down on Saturday. So yeah, again, y'all, thanks again for tuning in. And don't forget, tomorrow, we're going to look at Rhode Island, the What's Going Down episode of The Real Housewives of Rhode Island with these new heifers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 new Rhode Island heifers. Y'all have a good night. All right? Be good. And make sure that somebody's good to you. All right, bye.